today. The coin for the toss will be delivered by the lucky FedEx competition winner.
7 and 9 have an ATP on the net. Have a Hawkeye system with this court. Please make sure to say loud enough challenge. The shot clocks are on the corners there, and on the top. Okay? TV changeovers. Questions? No. Matteo, you want to choose? Have a FedEx or ATP tour?
ATP.
So yours?
Carlos Bernardes, the man in charge of match one.
Novak, FedEx, serve. Okay, picture both sides, please.
Novak sticking to the basics there. He's won the toss, and he will serve. It's showtime then at the O2 in London, the 2019 Nitto ATP Finals. Novak Djokovic, the #2 seed as the world #2, taking on Matteo Berrettini, the Italian, making his debut here in London. Just a reminder that this is action in Group Bjorn Borg, 2 groups of 4 players. The draw made on Tuesday. Djokovic heading up the group alongside Federer, Dominic Thiem, of course, and Matteo Berrettini. Federer and Thiem will do battle this evening, not before 8 p.m. local time. Let's take a more detailed look at Novak's year, Colin. Another good one, to say the least. Another 2 majors, of course, started the year in spectacular fashion, didn't the Australian Open? Came through an incredible Wimbledon final, another couple of Masters 1000s as well. He played really good tennis in Tokyo after the shoulder injury. Seems to be arriving relatively fresh, and he should be confident after Paris as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think any season that ends, you know, here at the Nitto ATP Finals at the O2, competing for the year-end #1 ranking, it's got to have been a good year. And like you say, in Australia, with that Grand Slam title to kick things off, played sensational tennis. You know, Nadal was in great form. We thought it was going to be an epic final, and Djokovic just blew him away. Struggled a bit after that, didn't really get it going again until the clay court season, as you could see there. Took a title in Madrid, a final in Rome, followed that up with a semi-final in the French Open, of course, and then he's been pretty strong throughout. Struggled, had to retire the US Open with a shoulder injury, but as you say, he's fit and healthy again. Won the Paris title for his 34th Masters, and he's a 5-time champion of this year-end finals. So, phenomenal record, and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, finalist this time last year, of course, losing out to Alexander Zverev, the German, who guaranteed his qualification in Paris, the last event of the regular season. What a year, though, it's been for Matteo Berrettini. Incredible to think, isn't it, that the 23-year-old, it wasn't that long ago that he was picking up his first ATP points. I mean, his rise has been meteoric.
Yeah, I just love this guy's story. You're absolutely right. At 19 years of age, he got his first ATP point. I saw a comparison with Nadal, who'd won, you know, X amount of titles and even slams by then, and it's just been a steady rise. As you can see, 2015 ranked 525. 2 years ago, in fact, he didn't win the wildcard playoff for the next gen finals, and 2 years later, here he is at the ATP finals, having started the year outside 50. He's won a challenger this year. Amazing to think a player that's played in challengers in 2019 is here at the finals, but it was that semi-final at the US Open that really announced his level and his potential. Followed it up with a semi-final you can see there in Shanghai, semi-final in Vienna as well just afterwards, and it was those results that sealed his place here in the top 8.
Yeah, popular guy amongst the fans. He'll be making a few more fans, I dare say, during the next few days. Just a confirmation that it is his first appearance, in fact the first Italian to play at the year-end finale since 1978. He was also the first Italian to make the semis at the US Open since 1978 as well. It'll be fascinating to see how quickly he settles down this afternoon in what is a first meeting. These have come across each other so far on the ATP Tour. Certainly has the weapons. It'll be interesting to see how the court's playing as well, how the conditions might suit Berrettini's game. This is a look at their progress through the season. As you can see from the white route of Djokovic, it was such a fast start, wasn't it, with another Grand Slam title. Berrettini is a little more slow and steady, and he really played himself into contention with that run to the semis in New York.
Yeah, and those pulsing dots are the titles that both players picked up. Djokovic with 5, equaling the record of Medvedev, and Berrettini 2 titles to his name in Budapest, which really kick-started him, got him inside that top 50, and then followed it up in Stuttgart. He's the only player, in fact, with double-digit wins on all surfaces in this ATP season, so, you know, he can play anywhere. He should be able to settle into these indoor conditions on the hard court. Very big game with serve and forehand, the foundation, and if he can get up and running and settle in terms of nerves, he should be able to cause Novak Djokovic some problems.
The teams alongside each player here at the O2, of course, Goran Ivanisevic, he was alongside Novak in Paris, so that was a good week in that respect. And of course, his long-time coach, Marian Vida. The full team, as ever, tends to be in place here in London. Huge significance, and I guess that extra motivating factor this week in terms of chasing down that year-end number 1. That seems to be an important element for Novak.
Yeah, the build-up to this event, he was interviewed and talked about, you know, the pride that he takes and the privilege that it is to be competing to make history in this great sport. And he labelled winning Grand Slams and finishing year-end number 1 as with the 2 biggest achievements in his eyes. So he will be very switched on to trying to equal Pete Sampras's record of 6 year-end number 1 finishes. For Nadal, of course, will have something to say about that, going for his 5th year-end number 1 finish. So amazing to have those 3 still going, still pushing each other on. So we take a little look at Berrettini's coach and team, the journey they've been on together.
Yes, Vincenzo Santapadre on the left. They've been together since Berrettini was aged 13, and Umberto Riana alongside the Italian as ever. Big day for all concerned. Our very first singles match of the week then here at the 2019 Nitto ATP Finals, the 50th edition of this event. It's Novak Djokovic, the number 2 seed, up against the number 8 seed, Matteo Berrettini. It will be the Serb to get us underway. A 5-time champion over the years.
Bye-bye. 3. Bye-bye. Give me 1. We have 7.
The atmosphere building nicely. It is a spectacular arena for this event. It's such a success over the years. Looking forward to another good week.
Thank you. Play.
An early sign of Berrettini's going to try to bring to this match. Packs a big punch on that forehand wing, and he's going to have to hit it well and accurately.
Lost his number 1 ranking after Paris, despite winning that tournament. Spent 275 weeks as world number 1. 3rd in the all-time list now.
Portugal.
640 ranking points behind Nadal in that race to finish the year as the world number 1. We'll go into the various permutations in a bit more detail. But the headline is that he has to make the final. So I guess maybe you just set that aside today, do you? And you concentrate on 1 match at a time. Bit of a cliche, but that's the way he has to approach the week.
Well, I touched on the interview he did in the build-up to this event, and another thing he talked about was the need to hit the ground running. You know, you can't build into this type of tournament. You got the top 8 in the world. Berrettini well capable of causing him trouble here. It was a perfect start, 4 first serves, nice comfortable hold. And already this becomes a test for the Italian. See if there's any nerves in in the racket arm. Hold the serve is what's required.
Yeah, there are so many firsts, aren't there, for Berrettini to tackle really this afternoon. First meeting with Djokovic, first match of the ATP finals, first taste of the O2.
Take on the overhead. Only won that point 2 or 3 times against most players, but just no holes in the armory of Novak Djokovic. Makes him play one more awkward ball. Crowd trying to boost the Italian here. For 6 points, all gone to Djokovic.
Thank you.
That'll feel good. First one on the board.
15-13.
God, just look a bit tight as well, don't they?
Yeah, it's a big moment for the whole team. Fantastic journey they've been on.
That's nice from the Italian. Get those weapons firing.
Now this is the blueprint for his success in this match, playing from inside the baseline, forehand from the middle of the court, and you can see how potent a combination that is. Some serious heat on the serve. You can see 140 miles per hour in that delivery down the tee.
He's got a nice full-court game, Berrettini. Crafted on the clay initially, but made the decision relatively young to play a lot of tennis on a hard court, so it does have different elements to his game. It's not perhaps the classic Italian slow court player you might expect from that part of the world.
Got the title in Stuttgart, of course, on the grass. Didn't up his serve all week. He's an all-court player.
Yeah, on to the second week, last 16 at Wimbledon, another of his highlights this season. It's well played from love 30.
Surely a significant amount of mental strength there, especially after the missed overhead to go love 30 down. Intangible, so important, especially when you get to an event like this, facing an opponent like Novak Djokovic.
Confidence at ease, as he did during that run to the title in Paris, despite illness early in that week. Named a 34th Masters 1000 title, Djokovic in the French capital, without dropping a set. Beating Shapovalov in the final. It was a fairly one-sided title decider. Canadian looking a little nervous. The early stages of that one. First point is dropped on serve so far. Djokovic looking comfortable on serve in these early stages. No real signs of any tension so far for the world number 2. After 9 minutes played, we're on serve. 2-1. Now throughout the event, we'll be looking at each player's skill set index, numbers that are compiled during Masters events using Hawkeye data. Now each player is given an overall number on the left of the screen, which is an average of the 4 categories on the right of the screen. And in turn, each of those 4 categories on the right is compiled using different statistics. And Colin, you have drilled down into the numbers. You've got a couple of interesting stats that maybe play a part today.
Yeah, I think we've seen already in many ways this is a case of attack against defence, aggression being the one area where Berrettini just slightly outscores Djokovic. His average ground stroke speed, especially in that forehand, playing a factor there, and the number of balls he's able to take on the rise. But you look at the phenomenal defence of Novak Djokovic, 93 there. Fewest number of forced errors in the field, and also balls on the run. He keeps an impeccable depth.
Defending champion here, of course, at the O2 is Alexander Zverev. Got it done this time last year. Will you be my coach? Might be a bit busy this week, but in a few days' time.
He's got some significant knowledge to pass on if and when the time comes, doesn't he?
Zverev beating Djokovic in last year's final. That was a surprise result. Wonder whether we'll get a surprise champion in a week's time. Nice mix of players here at the O2. Mixed of experience, of course, the likes of Djokovic and Federer, Nadal, and a good group of youngsters. 4 players, 23 years of age and under. Berrettini, of course, one of those.
15 more.
Fascinating to see how the likes of Medvedev performs here, and Tsitsipas, of course. Both here for the first time.
Have a look at that skill set index. Change of ends based on the Hawkeye data from the 2019 Masters 1000s. Djokovic defends so strong. Another factor in that is percentage of returns made. You've seen the last 2 points, always making Berrettini work out here.
Finding plenty of first serve so far. 9 of 12 have found the mark. His opening 2 service games. Well, I would imagine that's the first box ticked if you're Matteo Berrettini or anyone in the Italians camp. Such a big occasion.
Yeah, you've got to stay with the favourite in the scoreline. Try and create some scoreboard pressure. Yeah, like Djokovic gets ahead early, they can just relax even more than he already is. So a good start by Berrettini.
History on Novak's side, that's for sure, in terms of his very first match when he's made it to the Nitto ATP finals. The only first match of the week he's lost was in his very first appearance at the season-ending championships. It was 2007, in fact, in Shanghai back in those days, against David Ferrer, the Spaniard. So 10 in a row since then. That's how sharp he's been. It's his 77th title for Novak in Paris.
And once again, he just comes in such good form, doesn't he? Title in Paris, a few days at home, head over to London for some practice, and he's in good shape to start this match as well. An area where Berrettini is giving away a significant advantage to Djokovic is his movement. If the Serb's able to get on top of points, get the Italian off balance, it should pay dividends.
He's still looking smooth on his own delivery. 3 service games negotiated by the #2 seed, just a couple of points dropped on serve so far. 3-2. Novak making a 12th appearance at this event. We mentioned the first was back in 2007 in Shanghai. 5 titles. He's played in 7 finals. 4th in the all-time list in terms of years qualified at this event. Also tied 4th in terms of all-time match wins at the Masters, as it used to be known, 35, so it would be a 36th today. Of the decade. Well, he's been pretty good, hasn't he? It's been a fantastic season in terms of just adding to the Grand Slam tally in Melbourne and here in London. So I have good memories of returning to this city, saving those 2 match points against Federer, that incredible Wimbledon final. It's one rematch we'll get over the next few days. Djokovic and Federer in the same group. Federer taking on Thiem this evening.
Out.
I think from Novak's body language, he felt that was long. As soon as it bounced, we'll find out.
It did look as if Berrettini had nudged it just beyond the baseline. It was a smart shot by Djokovic, deliberately short slice just to bring him in and make him improvise. He has missed it just long. This now becomes a half chance for Djokovic. Balls slightly older, should slow them down. He's got a foothold in the game. Real confidence booster for Berrettini. Defending his second serve with some big ground shots.
Berrettini at love 30 in that opening service game. Just to put a bit more pressure on now, Djokovic. Record helping him out on that occasion. Nudge that wide.
15.
So the first break points of the match fall the way of the number 2 seed.
Surprising miss from Djokovic. Started the point so strongly. Great return onto the Berrettini backhand, and then a backhand of his own. Tight to the baseline. He was heavy favourite for the point from there.
Second chance. We'll be looking to neutralise the Italian serve once more. There we go. Fabulous dig from the world number 2. And there's the first break of the match.
It's outrageous, wasn't it? The ability, first and foremost, to get a racket on that ball, the flexibility, the core strength, and then the skill to control the racket head direct in the court, make his opponent play one more ball. Be happy to have made that breakthrough. 10 unforced errors just cost the Italian to this stage.
Yeah, just the 2 from Djokovic. It's been watertight so far. Oh, it's big time tennis. Nice response.
I love that from Berrettini. Head could easily have gone down having been broken. Big forehand there, taking the ball on the rise. Talked about that at the start of the match. And a nice fist bump. It's now 5 from 5 for Djokovic in his second serve, and he's so smart the way he varies it, both in terms of direction and speed. Going big into the forehand there of Berrettini, rushing him. He also used the kicker up to the backhand, sliders into the body.
Trying to coax the error from the Italian.
Yeah, and he starts the point so smartly. Second serve there, that time the kicker up to the backhand, which was made possible by the quicker one to the forehand on the previous occasion. Prevents Berrettini from running round, keeps him guessing. He knows once he's in the rally, he's the favourite, Djokovic. That time Berrettini trying to run round, trying to get the big forehand into play, but once again accurate second serve, and he's now won 7 out of 7.
Point for 5-2. Another unforced error in the Italian's column. Djokovic wasting no time in taking control of this opening singles of the week. 25 minutes played. He's up 5-2.
Djokovic just gesturing over to his camp, but he should be sitting pretty happy at this change of ends. It's been a strong start. He just starts the points so strongly, so much precision. We talked about the second serves in that game, moving it around the box, the accuracy to prevent Berrettini from attacking him, and on the return, I love the way he's been taking the ball early, and especially the second serve return, and able to direct it so many times deliberately onto the backhand of Berrettini, starting as many points as possible, at least in neutral or on top. And everyone knows how good he is once he's in the rally. It's been a clean and tidy start for Djokovic.
This event was first held in December 1970, the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. Of course, came to the O2 in 2009, 11th year here in East London. Most of the players arriving earlier in the week, Monday, Tuesday. A couple of practice courts were made available at the Queen's Club, the other side of London, in West Kensington, of course, venue for the grass court ATP 500 events just before Wimbledon, and then the main court here and the practice courts here at the O2 are ready from Thursday. So these guys have had a handful of days to get used to the conditions, pace of the court behind closed doors.
Talked at the break about the precision, the accuracy of Novak Djokovic. There's another example. Return right to the baseline of Berrettini and then impeccable depth, drawing another error. 15 now is worrying for the Italian.
This first set starting to slip away rather quickly now. So effective again. The return comes back, neutralises the serve, and then it's game on for Djokovic from the back of the court.
Yeah, what a game this has been. Impeccable returning, impeccable depth on the ground shots.
Under half an hour on the clock, 3 set points. It's a fairly one-sided opening set in truth. Berrettini doing well in the opening stages, but Djokovic and his camp will be delighted with the opening half an hour. He's taken the first set, 6 games to 2.
That's a perfect example of efficient tennis from Novak Djokovic. Hardly put a foot wrong. Amazingly tidy and clean from the start of that set. Only 3 unforced errors from the serve, 17 in total for Berrettini. That really ran away from him in the end. Djokovic served well, winning 16 of 20 serve points, and in truth it was a pretty one-sided contest. Berrettini needs to settle himself back down, get his forehand firing. 12 on that big wing, far too many. But it's tough for Berrettini. Look, he's averaging 133 miles per hour on his first serve, but he probably just feels like they're all coming back into play, all to a good length, and he's having to try and win the points in the rallies. There's been signs of the damage he can do, but not been anywhere near enough consistency, and Djokovic is well on top. You can see the crucial breaks of serve that Djokovic got in the 6th and 8th game to clinch it. Very tidy on his second serve, winning 100% of those points, moving it around the box. It's Berrettini with all the work to do if he's to get back into this one.
So the Djokovic fans will be delighted with
Novak,
the opening
Djokovic,
half an hour of the singles competitions of the Nitto ATP finals. The world number 2 firmly in control.
please. Out. I think I was wrong. I was challenged, but I think I was wrong. Mr. Berrettini challenged the left baseline, the ball was called out. I think I was wrong.
Djokovic is indicating he wasn't sure, couldn't give a definitive indication to Berrettini. Millimeters in there, no damage done. Replay the point.
Yeah, it's a frustrating element though, isn't it, for Berrettini? initially. He's made a good return there. Second time around, not the case. Just got to park that frustration. Peppering the Italian's baseline.
Yeah, it'll go down as an unforced error in the forehand, but in truth, it's a ball struck at a good tempo, landing tight to the baseline. Very difficult shot to play.
So another comfortable game on serve.
Djokovic still only lost the 4 points on serve, all of them coming behind his first serve. 83% of service points in comparison to Berrettini, 46% of total service points won. So first and foremost, forget about the return games, find a formula to consistently hold serve. Got to be a bit more accurate with the first serve. He's not short of pace. He's got to try and get more free points, more attackable balls behind it. Kind of return where Djokovic is so good. It's a great second serve. He's on the stretch, but he just takes it early. Don't give Berrettini any time to get round the ball. And once it's on his backhand, Djokovic knows he's in the point.
Oh, incredible stuff. There we go.
These players just igniting this crowd. Easily the point of the match. Probably hold up as one of the points of the week. Djokovic trying a wrong foot. Berrettini, he was wise to it with the overhead. He enjoyed that one.
Maybe that kind of point will just start to feed the confidence a touch. That is a very important service game for the Italian.
Nicholas Massou there, coach of Dominic Thiem, of course. Thiem will play Federer later on today. The other two players in this group, so just casting his eagle eye over future opponents for the Austrian.
Those guys have had a great season. They've 5 titles for the Austrian this year. Significantly a couple post-US Open as well. Historically a tricky time of the year for Dominic Thiem, when he won in Beijing and home soil in Vienna, of course, a couple of weeks ago. That was a big moment. An interesting contest against Federer this evening. that's required at the moment. Reproduce that kind of tennis over and over again.
There's so much happening in that point. Berrettini just dropping the hammer on Djokovic. Anticipation. Djokovic, though, it's incredible. Even able to get a racket on that last ball. It's a big point for Berrettini.
Oh, that is just too good. The quality of the return of serve.
Just incredible. It's 138 miles an hour serve. Djokovic had to stretch as well. Just drills it into the corner. One shot later. Nice bit of field to finish the job. Berrettini had a look to his camp as if to say, what am I facing here? First meeting between the two, of course.
Facing a wall right now.
Yeah, he's slipping into that sort of what can I do mentality, isn't he? Holding his hands up to his camp, still trying to encourage him. Just got to stick to the task and force Djokovic to maintain this incredibly high level. If he does, well, it's going to be too good.
First chance of this second set for Djokovic. Second serve. Berrettini's won just 4 of 10 second serve points so far. Yeah, it looked deep, didn't it? Doesn't look like there will be any kind of challenge. So another relatively early break for the number 2 seed.
That's just the pressure that Djokovic created. Berrettini over. Playing on the second serve, tried to go big, 110 miles per hour into the body, lost control of it. Almost more worryingly for Berrettini, he's only won 48% of his first serve points, 10 from 21, so he just doesn't have a consistent way of winning points in this match. It's a tough place to be.
Berrettini hasn't really played a bad point there, has he?
Just thinking to myself, he's not played a bad match. You know, he's come out here, he's hit the ball pretty well, he's served big.
He's heading to a good length there, wasn't he?
He was. He just can't, like I say, consistently win points. He can't punch a hole in the Djokovic defence, and Djokovic has just been completely unfazed from the word go.
Thank you. Thank you.
One-way traffic at the moment. 7 in a row now for Djokovic. He looks ready to have this match done and dusted, really. He is looking very smooth this afternoon. Set and 3-love.
Early on in this match about Djokovic knowing how to win here in the World Tour Finals. Part of that is starting quickly, hitting the ground running. As you said, he's won 10 in a row. This would be his 11th of opening group stage matches, and he really does look in good form. It's been a perfect group for him in a way, a perfect draw, if you like, to play Berrettini first, let Federer and team go at it tonight. You know, he'll have a nice rhythm if he's able to close this one out. Things looking good for Djokovic at the moment.
Fans are enjoying themselves here at the O2, a large multi-purpose complex. Of course, we haven't been here too far away from Greenwich in East London. Created as a monument to space and time, I discovered this weekend. And in fact, if you drill down into the numbers, nice symmetry there. The diameter, 365 meters, of course, same number of days in a year. 12 masts on top of this building to signify the months in the year. And the summit of the walkway, exactly 52 meters.
Good to know.
I quite like those numbers. There's some serious thought and planning gone into this place. All sorts of facilities for the fans to enjoy away from this main centre court.
It's interesting you mentioned space and time. No wonder Djokovic so successful here then, because that's exactly the pressure he creates on his opponents. Takes so much time away from him. We saw that return there. It's his ability to cover and attack space that makes him so successful as well.
It's always going to be a tall order, this, for Berrettini going up against Djokovic, coming off that win in Paris. So experienced at this event, at this level. Are the next few games, regardless of what happens, Colin, important for the Italian in terms of avoiding scar tissue, if you like, going into the rest of the week?
Yeah, I would say so. He'll know he's in a tough group. Djokovic, Federer team. You can argue it doesn't come any tougher than that. But if he goes away here without much of a fight, it won't give him any momentum for those next two group matches. He wants to dig his heels in, make it tough for Djokovic.
Of course, the beauty of the group format is certainly not dead and buried if he does lose this match. Just gives you another bite at the cherry. 4 players in each group, 2 going through to the semi-finals and then knockout stages thereafter. Semis on Saturday and then the final, of course, a week today. ratcheting up the pressure, wasn't he, little by little, as that point developed.
Yeah, it's relentless. And once Djokovic is able to control the point from the middle, get Berrettini moving, there's already one winner. That point was over one way or another with that last forehand. Unfortunately, just completely flew on him.
Chance for a double break.
Left. Service.
It's a bit of a desperate look towards the coaching team.
Same reaction, isn't it? How am I losing that point? That's what's going through his mind. You know, it's a bomb of a serve, 139 miles per hour, pretty close to the tee. Djokovic knocks it back deep. The forehand was on the baseline. That comes back with interest as well.
Again, it's Djokovic at his brilliant best. Another incredible return of serve. That serve coming down at 140 miles an hour. He's nudged that back to within a metre of the Italian's baseline.
What a performance from Djokovic. We knew he'd be fired up for this battle for year-end world #1, and of course a sixth Nitto ATP Finals title, but he couldn't have started it any better. Dialed in right from the word go.
You can tell from the reaction after securing the double break. Just feels that it's the hard work has been done now. Alternate days, of course, in terms of group action here in London. So Djokovic and Berrettini will both be given Monday off.
Nice second serve return from Berrettini there, taking the backhand inside out. And it's one of the few times I can remember Djokovic being off balance in this match.
More, please.
The Italian just hasn't been able to get him guessing enough.
That willingness to slowly but surely break down his opponent, corner to corner. was out of the blue, to say the least.
It's another sign of how fired up he is this week. 6-2, 4-love up. Losing his emotional control.
First break point for Berrettini. And he breaks. Well, we didn't see that coming. A smile on the face of the Italian. Perhaps enjoy this experience a little longer than we expected. 4-1.
Well, it's good for Berrettini to have got a break of serve there. He's played well enough to get an awful lot more out of this match in terms of the scoreline. He's just been completely outplayed by Djokovic. Big roar from Novak when he went 4-love up, double break. You just see him shaking his head. Perhaps a bit of adrenaline just leaving his body there with that reaction, and slight loss of focus to drop serve. He'll be annoyed about that. Still no need to worry. Setting a break to the good, and Berrettini still struggling to hold serve, only winning 38% of service points in this second set, 44% of first serve, 29 in his second. So Djokovic will know that he can break back and break him again if he needs to.
Doubles, as is tradition here in London. The top 8 singles players alongside the top 8 doubles teams. So for Carson and Michael Venus, first match of the day, got a couple. Rajiv Ram and Joe Salisbury. Joe Salisbury, big week for him, the only British player in action this week. Used to the likes of Andy Murray and Jamie, of course. Over the years, appearing here at the O2. Doubles featuring Lucas Kubot and Marcelo Meller up against Dodig and Polasek. Before that second singles match of day one, Federer team. Just nudged that wide. It's not too far away.
Such a clever shot by Djokovic. So often when players are at full sprint and sliding up to drop shots, they overplay, they get excited. He just knocked that one down the line, made it difficult, drew the error.
It's a nice combination. It's one of a few matches this year. 1-2 combo. Oh, that's beautiful. All court tennis.
He's heating up here, Berrettini. Nice accurate serve to set things up. There's the all-court skills. This would be a significant hold. Give him a chance to ask the question of Djokovic at 4-2 at least. Just wonder if he's missed a trick. Possibly serving body a bit more in this match. Djokovic seems to have a nice read on his first serve. Able to stretch the arm and redirect or block the ball deep in the court. And if the Italian, the speed he possesses, could have tied him up a few more occasions.
It's a risky ball, isn't it, to go in behind.
Right on cue, he did serve into the body and got a shorter return. As you say, a risky ball to follow to the net, didn't get enough on it. It's just making life difficult for him.
Chance to break for a 5th time. And he does. More pinpoint accuracy from Djokovic. Surely now job done.
Berrettini just having a glance across to the baseline. Shouldn't be surprised, Hawkeye confirming that Djokovic's ball was in. He took control of the point from there and seals that double break once again.
.61 minutes played. Djokovic serving for the match. That's well done. He's put the brakes on there, didn't he? It was good control on the run.
He does have nice feel for big guys, not just a power player. Tried to make it a double. Djokovic with his trademark on the line backhand drop shot there.
It's been quick fire this afternoon from the world number 2. Just an hour and 3 minutes played. And Djokovic has 2 match points.
Please, gentlemen. Thank you.
That was near perfect from Novak Djokovic. A ruthlessly efficient performance from the world number 2. And he begins his stay in London in perfect fashion. He will be delighted with that kind of tennis. One-way traffic here in the capital against the newcomer to the Nitto ATP finals, Djokovic. fully deserving his victory, and it was one-sided, just 63 minutes, 2-1.
It's an imperious performance from Novak Djokovic. Clean, tidy and efficient. Gave his opponent absolutely nothing right from the word go. One minor blip at 4-love in the second set. Berrettini, well, he should hold his head high. Didn't play a bad match, struck the ball well. Glimpses of what he could produce on a tennis court. Big serves, big forehands, some tidy touches around the net, but he was just outplayed today. Djokovic so accurate, so precise. Crowd showing their appreciation for the newcomer. But it's this man who looks in fine shape to push on towards record equaling 6 UN World #1, record equaling 6 Nitto ATP Finals title. It's going to take some stopping if he can repeat performances like that one today.
Perfect start for Novak Djokovic. We're delighted to say that we can hear from the world #2. He's talking to Annabel Croft.
Well, first of all, Novak, welcome back to London. It's the first time we've seen you since you won your 5th Wimbledon title this summer, so it must be good to be back.
Feels great to be back, of course. Earlier this year, I had a great stay in London as W19. Played well in Wimbledon, and over the years played really well in this arena. And this event, which hosts elite 8 players of the season, has been in this city for 10 years now, and there's a reason for that. It's been a very successful tournament, and I've been enjoying it very much.
Well, I'm sure everyone has enjoyed watching you play as well. You were up against a young player in Matteo, who is a dangerous opponent. He brings big weapons onto the court, but you had all the answers for that big serve and that big forehand on a fast court.
Well, it was not easy for him, obviously, playing his first World Tour Finals match. I knew that he's going to probably be a bit more nervous at the beginning, so I tried to use the experience and obviously the right tactics to perform well. You know, I was fortunate to get the break, and midway through the first set, after that, I started reading his serve better. Obviously, he's got big weapons with serve and forehand, but I managed to play really, really solid throughout the whole match.
And just tell us how the conditions are, because everyone's saying it's a very quick court, but the fact that you're only on court for just over an hour, it must be suiting your game.
Yeah, as I said, you know, I've been enjoying the conditions here in this court for many, many years, and I've been blessed to play this tournament for many years in a row, and you know, won it more than a couple of times, and of course it's very suitable to my style of the game. But you know, it's never easy playing against a big server like Matteo or Sasha Zverev or any of those young guys that are really big, so you better rely on your return, and I've been fortunate to have a good return throughout my career.
Well, well done. We enjoyed watching you play, and very best of luck in the next one. Novak Djokovic.
Thank you.
Talking to Annabel Croft, and as you would imagine, pretty pleased with this afternoon's work. Couldn't have gone much better, could it?
Yeah, he looks pretty calm and composed, doesn't he? No frills really in the interview, no frills in the performance, but it was just a killer instinct. Gave Berrettini absolutely nothing, and he should be delighted with the start he's made. I will show their appreciation for their fans' favourite as he heads off to sign some autographs. The stats from the match will represent the clean and tidy performance we talked about from Djokovic. Only 8 unforced errors. 2 or 3 of those came in that 4-love game in the second set, where there's just a slight loss of focus. 10 winners, but he forced Berrettini into making a lot of those 28 unforced errors. Put him in difficult positions on the court. Made him feel as if he had to win every point because Djokovic wasn't going to give him anything. And you can see there Djokovic really dominant in all types of points, but particularly once the rally got underway, 23-7 in points played, 5-9 shots, and 7-3 over 9, as well as starting his points strongly. It was really a masterclass and a bit of a lesson for the Italian, but he'll go away and learn from it. Very tidy on serve, 75% of first and second serve points won. Berrettini, well, you would never have predicted that, winning less than 50% of his first serve points. I mean, he was well in the 130s average first serve speed. Djokovic just had all the answers today. And he's going to move on with a lot of confidence.
So a very nice start to the week, to say the least, for Novak Djokovic. Just the 3 games lost. Not surprisingly, he is top of Group Bjorn Borg, and Berrettini in second bites into the fact that he has played a match. Of course, Federer and team will get things going this evening, but Djokovic sitting pretty at the top of Group Bjorn Borg. Of course, just a reminder that they will be off tomorrow, and we'll be focusing on Group Andre Agassi on Monday, that one featuring Nadal, Medvedev, Tsitsipas and Zverev. So can be plenty to look forward to throughout the week. And of course it's 200 ranking points as well for Djokovic in terms of chasing down Nadal at the top of the year-end #1 rankings. A reminder of what we have to look forward to here at the O2 a little later today, of course. We have 2 singles per day here, and not before 8 o'clock local time here in London. Federer up against team. Colin Fleming, what's your gut feeling there?
Well, what a match. I cannot wait for that one. They've played twice this year. Dominic Thiem winning both of them. Final of Indian Wells and quarterfinals in Madrid. Federer won in straight sets against Thiem here last year. Both players, no margin for error now that Djokovic has started so strongly. They're going to come out and be going for it from the word go. Cannot wait for that match, as I say.
Yeah, Federer, a 6-time champion here at the Nitto ATP Finals. Thiem making his 4th appearance, 4th successive appearance. Lots to look forward to in that one. The number 3 seed up against the number 5 seed. So one done and dusted in terms of our week here in London at the Nitto ATP Finals. Don't forget, we'll be back at 8 o'clock local time for Federer up against Thiem. Until then, from me, Lee Goodall, Colin Fleming alongside me, it's bye for now.